What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a review, spoiler-free, of Dr. Sleep. There's a lot that I want to say about this movie, and I'm actually very impressed, so I'll just say that right off the bat. For somebody that was not looking forward to this film at all, I came out of the theater loving it. This is a movie that was directed by Mike Flanagan. Now, there are some people out there that are not huge fans, but he's actually done a really good job. I think it's since like 2012 or 2013, he's been pumping out good flicks like almost every single time. There are some that have been held up, like Before I Wake. There was Gerald's Game, The Haunting of Hill House. He also did Oculus, Ouija, Origins of Evil, which I actually really like, and plenty more. He also did that movie Hush, which was just tense as hell, about the deaf girl who is basically getting her house invaded, which if you haven't seen that, I would highly recommend that. To me, it seems like a perfect, easy choice to pick Mike Flanagan to write and direct this film because of The Haunting of Hill House, as well as many of his other films. So I'm not sure the history on that whole thing, but I will say that I think it was a perfect fit. Ewan McGregor, of course, plays an adult version of Danny Torrance. He was outstanding in this performance. Kind of showed a little bit more of him than I've seen in a while. He's always been a great actor, but this just really I don't know, did it for me, I guess. You also have Rebecca Ferguson, who plays Rose the Hat. Phenomenal performance. This woman is not only sexy, she was the perfect mix of seductive and evil that you would want in this character. You also have Kylie Curran, the kid that was in the trailer. She's a new child actor, I guess, that's been out for a little while doing a few things, but man, she nailed it in this performance. Like, this role really asked a lot of her, and she nailed it 100%. Her and Ewan McGregor's characters were just great. Last night we watched The Shining just to kind of prepare for this movie. I was adamant about watching it because I know that there was going to be little nods here and there, and I wanted to be familiar with it. If you're going to see Dr. Sleep and you haven't already, I would highly recommend that you watch The Shining before you do. It was great to watch it again last night. But yeah, it's like you watch a film like Kubrick's The Shining, a movie that was not liked by Stephen King for not sticking to the actual novel that he wrote, and a movie that blew fans away. So having Mike Flanagan pick this up is kind of scary, because not only are you trying to please the fans because they love The Shining so much, but you're also trying to please Stephen King in some ways and the people who love the books so much, whether it be The Shining or Dr. Sleep. And I think he did an amazing job. Like, honestly, I think that this is probably the best possible outcome for a movie, Dr. Sleep, to be made. Kudos to everyone involved, because this movie is just hits all the right spots. I was not bored once in the entire movie. I was uncomfortable in a lot of spots, repulsed in a few situations. The camera work, the art direction, the style of the film was really great. Of course, it's never going to be the Shining level of art house film that it kind of is. But, you know, we're talking about Stanley Kubrick here. That's not to say that this movie doesn't have some extra really good stuff in it. And I was actually impressed. It makes its own entity. It does its own thing. This movie makes its own path. It makes itself its own movie. It's not trying to imitate The Shining. Its own sort of vibey movie. There was moments that I was like, really kind of heartfelt moments that just kind of were just amazing, with Ewan McGregor's character in particular. And it was kind of beautiful. And then there's like some savage, like dark, brutal shit with the characters, the killer characters, Succubus, I'm not really sure, but those characters were all amazing. Like, I felt like every single one of the characters in this movie I was interested in, not from the small ones all the way to the big ones. The whole film So it's really impressive to me how they did that. I don't know that this is going to be the scare movie that some people may like. I'm not saying that it's not scary. It is. There's some actual brutal stuff in this movie that I personally was like, oof, feelings throughout the whole film. Now, I'm sure that there's going to be some people out there that this may not be their cup of tea. I don't know if it's because they're trying to compare it too much to The Shining or not. I'm sure there's going to be those people out there, but I don't think you really need to, because I think that this movie carved enough of its own way out of the film world and in my interest and in my imagination that it made me interested throughout. And I didn't ever expect once to go into this movie thinking, oh, this is going to be, just like The Shining. No, I mean, like I said before, when I saw the trailer, I was like, I didn't think it was going to be what The Shining was. But once I kind of got it in my mind that it was never going to be there, I think I was able to go and see this movie and just be open to it. And I think you will too. Of course, The Shining is probably the better movie. Christina and I both agree on that. We both went to see this. We both enjoyed it from start to finish. We had such a fun time watching this film, and we were so invested into every one of the characters that it really hurt when some of them were gone, or some of them were in situations that might have made us feel uncomfortable. It was just a really well wrapped up movie, and I'm having a hard time not giving this movie higher than it is, but I think it's a 9. And I think it's one of the better movies we've seen this year. It's not even a remake. And I don't hate remakes, so let me just be clear on that, okay? They have their place. It's really hard to talk about this movie without spoiling anything, but there are some moments in the film that they make, of course, to nod back to The Shining to kind of mix it all together, because it's from The Shining. So the story intertwines into one another, and they take some liberties to kind of redo some of those scenes and things, which I don't know how I feel about. I don't think I was upset about those kind of things at all. It should be pretty good for the average viewer to watch and not even think anything of it. I'm kind of glad that they didn't go like a CGI sort of route with some of those situations that I can't talk about, but I really enjoyed it. I really had a really good time with it. And I think that it's one of the better movies that I've seen this year. And I think you should go out to the theater 100% to support this film. Definitely buying this on Blu-ray, 4K, whatever. It is its very own thing. It is not The Shining, but it is an amazing continuation. Obviously, it's been a long time since the first one was made, and for them to be able to sort of seamlessly put those together, I think is an achievement in itself. For this movie to be as good as it is, knowing how great The Shining is a huge feat. So kudos to everyone involved. Good choices by Mike Flanagan and everyone that picked on the cast. They were phenomenal. I loved every single person. I don't think I found one single character in that movie that I disliked whatsoever. So what do you guys think? Have you seen it yet? Do you want to see it? Were you on the fence like me and were like, meh, it's never going to be The Shining, blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe you should go see it just to see if you could be proven wrong, because I'll tell you what, I love being proven wrong. Again, maybe not be the scariest movie for everybody out there. I don't think that matters that much. If scares is all you're looking for, it seems like you might have a very particular thing that you're looking for in horror films to begin with. For me, it is about the story and the characters and how well it was performed and everything. There were some really dark parts in this movie. I think it is horror 100%. I think it does exactly what it was set out to do. And like I said, the best possible outcome for a sequel to The Shining. Are you going to go see it this weekend? Are you going to wait till it comes to digital? What are your thoughts about it? I would love to hear about it in the comments section down below. Also, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel and like it. And if you haven't already, please do listen to our podcast. We do post it here on the YouTube channel, but you can also subscribe on iTunes, Spotify. All of the links of everything are down below. And we do giveaways every week for that, so you might want to sign up for the BTV VIP Club, which I mention every fucking video, I think. Sorry. Thanks for coming by, guys. Let me know what you think down in those comments. And as always, long live the void.